Black women and the theory I'll come up with that Black women are the best representation of God on earth. Okay, hey, white people, calm down. Just hear me out. And everyone just calm down. This is not a slight against anyone who is not a Black woman. This is I truly feel like, a logical conclusion based on all the evidence we have at hand. Hello, and welcome back to Bree Speaks podcast. I am your host, Bree Speaks, who created the 7 narcissistic social hierarchies of control. The 7 narcissistic social hierarchies of control are patriarchy, capitalism, corporatism. I got coffee on racism. It says Abrahamic religions, ableism/ageism, and speciesism, which is humans think they're better than animals, which is absolutely crazy. If you want one of these mugs that go over these 7 narcissistic social hierarchies and is a great conversation starter for any sort of conversation, it's just, or don't start conversations. You don't want to fight at your kitchen tables. But if you want a daily representation of what it's like to be out of the matrix, to be able to zoom out and look at the world for the crazy people that they are, while you just sit back and observe and notice that people are under spells and that they are causing their own suffering by believing in the crap that they tell us to believe in, then you should get your own Bree Speaks mug at breespeaks.co. All right, enough of that. So, what are we talking about today, Miss Bree Speaks? Today's category of conversation goes under racism and religion. We're going to talk about those in tandem. And, this one is going to be we're going into a little bit of esoteric woo-woo juju today. And so if you don't believe in that kind of stuff, probably not going to be your favorite episode, but it is going to be about, here we go, Black women and the theory I'll come up with that Black women are the best representation of God on earth. Okay, hey, white people, calm down. Just hear me out. And all other people, everyone just calm down. This is not a slight against anyone who is not a Black woman. This is I truly feel like, a logical conclusion based on all the evidence we have at hand. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start with, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, right? That's what the Bible says. I don't believe in the Bible. I know it's a narcissistic book that inverts and flips upside down and parallel walks with the truth, but never gives you the truth directly and wholly. But we know that in the beginning, there was nothing, and then something was there, right? And so the nothing that was there, we know, if we've been on this channel, that when there's nothing, that is the inside, that's the internal, that is the void, that is the blackness, that is the darkness, that is the feminine, right? The womb is a dark space that represents the feminine. The womb, hello. And then we know the outward expression of anything is the masculine. It is the positive. It is the without. It is the seen for the unseen. It is the there for the what's not there. It is the after from the before, right? That is the masculine. It is the external. Consciousness itself is all things that are. So it really is feminine and masculine all at the same time. It just is. But the first was darkness. And then darkness said, I wanted to exist. So I want to manifest into a thing. I want to experience. I don't want to just be. I want to do, right? The feminine is the being and then the masculine is the doing. And so I want to be. I want to exist. And so that's earth, space, time, all the things that we have, that we can talk to and see and calculate today, are the things that are the without of consciousness, but everything is spirit first, right? Spirit, like if you know about the recent discoveries of when you're looking inside of a womb, even before like the heartbeat is formed, like you can see energy in the womb condensing in a wave, in a pulse, in a what looks like what could be interpreted as a heartbeat, but the heart isn't there yet, but the energy is pulsing in the womb, condensing down into physical matter. That is spirit coming into the 3D. So we know that in yin and yang, right? Stay with me. Yin and yang is the balance of all that is the harmony of all that is, and the dark is the feminine and the light is the masculine. The moon, the dark, is the feminine. The sun is the masculine. All right, we're keeping up. Okay, so comes from the darkness, comes from the womb, comes from water, comes from the life that is the feminine. And then the first human life to manifest into the physical was a Black woman. All right, so here we go. So when consciousness decided, I want to experience all that is, I want to experience pain and suffering and joy and laughter and love and transformation. It came out as a representation, the first representation of life. It was a Black woman, okay? And I say that because it's like, it's not even just like everything that is darkness, everything that is the void is darkness, is spirit. It is closest to spirit. It is the first manifestation of spirit. And then after comes the masculine. And so because of that, that is why Black women were first, because we are quite literally the manifestation of spirit. We are dark, we are feminine, we are the dark feminine. That is the first thing that comes. And then after that, there are derivatives that come from that. And then that's when people got lighter and lighter and lighter. Their hair got straighter and straighter and straighter. But the first, and that's okay. And this is also why this is an episode full of thoughts and conspiracies. So just stick around. This is why Black girl magic is a term. Like, terms don't come out of nowhere. Even stereotypes, right? Stereotypes don't come out of nowhere. Nothing in the world, it comes from nothing, right? It all comes from spirit, or it all comes from something. It comes from something. So Black girl magic is a thing because Black women are magical. We know Black women are magical. We do all kinds of crazy stuff. We have all this creativity, and all of that creativity, all creativity comes from an expression of something within coming to the without. And so that is Black women, because we are so creative, because we are so connected to spirit, we are so connected to the within, we are so connected to source, and we are so connected to source, and it's like an unshakable bond that we have with source. No matter where you go on God Grace Planet Earth, even if they are Black women who are indoctrinated into Christianity, they are still more spiritually inclined than other people indoctrinated into Christianity, because we are connected to spirit. Like, it is because we are so connected to spirit that I feel like a lot of people, especially like Black women in Africa, who are like the source, they are so indoctrinated into Christianity because their spirit is so strong, and our spirits as a people, Black people in general, but Black women specifically, our spirits are so strong because we are so connected to source, and we are so connected to source because we are source. We are the first source. We are source. When source was like, I want to be a person, I'm a manifest as a person. And here's where the Bible comes in as a narcissistic control mechanism that flips things upside down, inverts things, and walks parallel to the truth, but not actually the truth. We were made in God's image. Who was the first person made? Hello? Does that make no sense to nobody but me? That we are made in God's image. The first person was made in God's image, and the first person was a Black woman. Henrietta Lacks has all the genes and all the DNA to manifest all people, every Black women have the Eve gene, which shouldn't even call it the Eve gene. It should be called let me see. Beautiful. Okay, in West Africa. So I was looking up what are some really common, names in Africa, which I knew the answer was going to be there is no most common name in Africa, because Africa is a full of diverse, gigantic continent, and then it depends on what part of Africa you're in that you'll get. But one of the things that just came up was in Yoruba, West Africa, Ada or Ada, probably Ada, means first daughter. So it should be the Ada gene, not the Eve gene, because Eve is, again, that's a European name. So for here on out, we'll call it the Ada gene. So the Ada gene is inside of every single Black woman ever, and that is just another representation of the fact that we hold the first genetic code of all humanity, because we were the first humans, because we were made in God's image as the first human that came to be, is a dark human, because we represent the darkness, we represent the spirit, we represent the feminine, literally the feminine. And it's also why women are first, because we hold all the light in life. And then we also have, right, stick with me, we have our XX gene, and we know that the X gene holds more DNA, more knowledge, more genetic codes than the Y gene. The Y gene is the X gene with like 90% of it turned off. So men have X plus 10%, while women have X plus 100%. And so women have 200% of genetic knowledge, of DNA, of understanding of life and earth and love, just like literally in our genetic code, while men have like a lot of it, but like they don't have all of it. And so that's like, women were first, and Black women were first, and that God made people in his image, and the first person that he made in his image was a Black woman. And that Black women are just so special. Like, literally, I was looking up some marketing stuff, and it was the craziest thing. I found that marketing companies literally look at what Black girls, like 16, like Black young, like 10, like 12 to I think 18, like what Black girls are doing, because they know that is going to be the next trend. Black women literally create culture. We create the trends. We create, like, they know that if Black girls are saying a certain word, that word is going to go mainstream in a little while. They know that if Black girls are wearing something or doing something or dancing or listening, like whatever Black women, girls are doing, young Black girls, they know that's going to be the next trend, because we not like literally are the blueprint, but like not only just for the genetic codes of humans, but like for manifestation of ideas of creativity. Because again, creativity comes from the expression of emotion, and your emotions come from spirit. Like spirit is like your emotions and spirit are connected. And I can tag my video that talks about how your nervous system and spirit are connected. But the more in touch you are with your emotions, the more connected to spirit you are. And Black girls, because just inherently by being Black people, we are so connected to our spirits and our emotions. Some, trauma, of course, can block all of that, and the narcissistic white governments try their damnedest to ensure we are traumatized to hell and back, to ensure that we are not in touch with our internal compass, our internal spirit, our internal source. They try to disconnect that with every single fiber of their beings, but they can't, because it is something inherently inside of us, and it's something that we pass on through, even when they gave us the trauma of, like, putting all of our men in jail and dragging us across God knows how long behind of a pickup truck, and cutting out our babies out of our stomachs and then eating them and just stomping on them, all the crazy, nasty, disgusting, evil that they did. We did not break, and we will never break, because we are connected to source. We are source. We are literally source manifested as a human being. If source came down today as a person, she would look like us. God came down as Jesus, which again, Jesus was a person who came to spread the word that we all have God inside of us, and we all do have God inside of us. And I don't want that to like be misconstrued in this whole conversation. But but Black women have the ability to tap into source, I feel like, easier than anyone, and that is because I don't know, we're just more like this. I don't want to say we're more connected, but it's just like there's no better way to say it. I think we maybe have an easier connection, or I don't know, it's an ancestral connection, it's a genetic connection. There's something inside of us that connects us to source, no matter, like, it's like, even if a Black woman is Christian, if a Black woman is Muslim, if a Black woman is Jewish. I know one half Black woman who's Jewish, and she's still so connected to herself, to her own thoughts, her own minds. Like, we trust our own being, our own critical thinking, way more than we trust any institution. And institutions, again, are manifestations of patriarchy, of narcissism, of outward expression. And so because we are the antithesis to that, we are the opposite of that, we don't respect institutions. We don't respect a white man giving us authority to do what we know we need to do. Like, even when, and I always say this, there was such an interesting fact that I found out, when slavery first started, they were only bringing, of course, white people were only bringing Black men they were only enslaving Black men and kidnapping and stealing and hurting and traumatizing Black men and bringing them to the Americas. But they started bringing Black women over, probably for reproductive purposes. But they quickly found that Black women were much more intellectual and much more attuned with the ground and with planting and agriculture, and we held the knowledge of how to grow and heal the land, because one, it's a I don't want to call it spiritual, but like growing food, it's a godly process. There's something there with spirit, and like, it's just like with understanding life is what I'm gonna say. It's something about understanding life and how life works and how nurture works and love, and the growing of life is a very maternal, feminine, inherent like, we inherently understand it better than men, because we have to do it. We have to go through our reproductive cycle. We have physical markers that show us like what is happening during our reproductive cycle. So women, we were always going to know how to do it better than men, and white people figured that out, and then that's when they started enslaving Black women. But it's just like, it just goes to show that women are Black women specifically are so in touch with Mother Earth, because we are Mother Earth. Mother Earth is us. Like, we grew from the ground that is Mother Earth, the first people walking the planet. And then another reason, which I will tag my video on, why 4C hair is magic and weave is witchcraft. Our hair is another like manifestation of God in several ways. But one is like, I don't know, just the uniqueness of it, just the uniqueness. Everything that God creates is unique. No two people have the same DNA. No two people have the same look, except identical twins. And then even then, there's still some differences between them. They still have some unique essence about them. And our hair is so, like, if I wear my hair like this and another Black woman wears her hair like this, it's still gonna just look different. It's still gonna be different, just because, like, just the way our curls are going to curl is going to be unique, and every single hair on my head is going to curl different than every other single hair on my head, and then that's going to be, that whole combination of curls is going to be different from my little sister, who's another Black woman. Like, her curls are just going to be different. And the versatility and the functionality, it just, like, it does so much that it's just like, it is literally magical hair. It is literally magical hair. Like, I could, like, I could I could do this for, like, I don't know, a couple of minutes, and then look, and then my hair will just start standing up straight. Like, y'all, it's magical hair, and you can't tell me no different. And it's like functional. It's just like all things that God would create is in our hair, and it represents the magic that we are. But then also, another reason why we are so connected to source is because of our hair, is because of the time that we have to spend doing our hair. And again, natural hair, you don't have to spend a lot of time. Like, I wash my hair once a week. Like, after I get out the shower, I, like, put it in, like, what is it, like, I gotta do a split here, and then, like, 4, 4, 4, 4. So 16 twists. I do a 16. This is 16 twist out. And that doesn't take very long. And then I wore my chunky twist, see, that's the thing. But a lot of people are not comfortable. A lot of Black women are not comfortable wearing their hair in something like a chunky twist hairstyle. And so they'll do all this other stuff to their hair, and it'll hurt their hair, harm their hair. They'll cover their hair up. The hair can't breathe because they don't feel comfortable wearing it in styles that are low manipulation and not super, like, slick. Like my edges. Y'all see these edges? They're there, which is very nice, but they're not slick. I could pull down my baby hairs and do all this stuff, but I don't do that stuff to my edges. And guess what? I've still got plenty of edges. Where I have friends and counterparts who, even though they wear their natural hair, even when they wear their natural hair, they still do all of this and slicking and trying to make their big curly hair still appear flat and smooth. And now they don't have any edges. It's like, I'm not laughing at them, but it's just like, it is still this small bit of self-hatred. I was just talking to somebody about this, and because they were literally asking me, how do you still have edges? And I was just like, because I don't fuck with them. I don't make them be something that they're not. Like, if someone looks at me and says, oh my God, she's ugly because she don't got baby hairs, like, slicking back behind her edges, I'm just like I'm just like literally just like, what? That is so beyond comprehension for me, that if I don't make my hair look like someone else's, then I am not beautiful. I'm not good looking. I'm not worthy of praise. Like, and it's just like, even then, everyone on this God Grease planet Earth could say I'm ugly today, and I still would not change my hair. I just wouldn't, because I like my hair. I think my hair is beautiful just the way she is. I think she's fabulous. I think she's fantastic. I think she's a wonderful head of hair. I love my hair, like, so much. And so even if other people felt like my hair is not beautiful to them, I just wouldn't care. And that's what all Black women really need to get to the point of like, even if you don't think my hair looks good while it's not slicked down, and even if you don't think my hair looks good when it's not, in a extra tight ponytail or in super slicked down cornrows. I don't even get cornrows that often anymore, because I noticed, as someone who had to deconstruct her brain from, my hair needs to be straight whenever I go outside and do anything, or I have to have weave, or I have to have braids, or I have to have some sort of style that makes my hair look long, flat, and curly. As I was deconstructing from that, and I was going longer periods of time without having braids in my hair, those times when I was just, wash, twist, sleep, moisturize, wake up, twist out, shake and go. My hair, like, the hairballs that were coming out of my hair were, like, so small whenever I would just do my hair, like, just wash and wear, like, just like this. Versus whenever I would take my hair down from braids, and it's like, even when I moisturize, even when I tried to wash it while I was in the braids and stuff like that, even when I think about the fact that I know I had these braids in a long time, so that should account for extra shed hair. And I should do this experiment, but if I collect the hair after a month of my hair being out and me just washing it once a week, twist out, or maybe some other low manipulation style, like 4 weeks of that hair, and then I collected all the hair in my head. I broke a nail. And I collected all the hair in my head from wearing my hair for 4 weeks in a protective style. That hair that comes out of my head it'll still come out in bigger globs than if I collect 4 weeks of me doing low tension styles and washing my hair once a week. Like that glob, teeny tiny, like look, just like it was like the smallest little globs of hair I've ever seen in my life. It has been coming out of my hair now that I don't do protective styles. But when I was doing protective styles, every time I took my hair out, I was just like, I was surprised I still had hair on my head, how much hair I had after I took it out. And this is with moisturizing, this is with washing it. It's just like the tension is going to break your hair off. You not having access to your hair when it's in a braid or in a thing, like it's just like the hair from the weave, like rubbing against your regular hair, it's like sawing at your hair underneath your hair. Like some of it, like I know the wrap locks, like the faux locks, those ones, if you don't like braid your hair in weave and then do the wrap, your hair is actually being protected when you do the faux locks with the wraps. And I did do that one time and I loved it. But even then, it's like it's extra hair on my head, and when you don't wear weave for a long time, your hair feels so like it's so light. So now whenever I put weave in my hair, it feels very heavy. But before it didn't feel heavy because I was just like used to having it all. But when you get used to not wearing weave in your hair, whenever you start putting weave in your hair, it's a strange experience. It's weird. It's heavy. You can feel that. I used to pride myself on not being tender headed. Like I used to, like if someone braided my hair or tugged at my hair, my hair is just like didn't bother me none. That's fine. That's fine. But after years of not having my hair touched by other people, now whenever I go to the braider shop, I'm just like, ooh, I'm just like, ooh, can you be a little nicer? And then here's the thing: when your hair is, which is crazy enough, but when you go now, when I go to the braiders, first of all, I don't get weave. I've learned to love, like if I do go to the braider, I allow them to braid just like my regular hair, and I can put in some pictures from when I was in Ghana. Ah, you see this? You see this hate? Oh, sorry. Okay. I need to have some cool. But getting your regular hair braided, cute. But whenever I do go to the braids now, they don't they respect my hair. I respect my hair, so they respect my hair. I could like before when I went to braiders, it's just like I didn't care what they did to my hair, so they didn't care what they did to my hair. But now I'm like, I don't want any weave. Just braid my hair. And be very gentle with it. Like they are so gentle with my hair because I have so much respect for my hair. And then also, I was gonna say, I do feel like the longer my hair has become, it's like, I'm like, wow, look at there, look at there, look at there. I can't look at that. That's crazy. Not crazy, but I'm just like, this is the longest my hair has ever been. But when your hair is longer, especially as a Black woman, and you go to a braider, again, it's just like they can tell you love and care and respect your hair, and so they do the same. Except for never, I hate to say this, but it has been my experience as well, though. Except people with short hair or no edges. Like when you look at a hairdresser's hair or a braider's hair and you see their hair and it's not in a good shape, don't let them touch your hair. Don't let them touch your hair. Because the last time I trusted a lady who had no hair and it didn't look like she didn't have any hair because she cut her hair in a cute little bob style. It looked like she didn't have no hair because she didn't treat her hair well. Last time I let her a person like that do my hair, I had 2 years of recovery. And that's what I think about now as someone, again, who has been working with her hair independently for so long. I'm gonna get back to us being God in a second. I now measure like hairstyles that will involve weave or like high tension and high manipulation. I measure them by how much recovery will my hair need after I'm done with this style. And if it's a lot, and I know it's a lot, I usually just steer clear. Like my little sister, she's been trying to start a braiding shop, and she's been asking me to braid my hair. And this is my little sister, y'all. And I've been avoiding her like the plague. There's nothing wrong with her. She's great. She has long hair, and I'm sure she would treat my hair fine. And I will do your hair. I will let you do my hair, little sister. But I am even afraid for my little sister to do my hair because that's how much I love, care, and respect my hair. And the thing is like no one is going to love, care, and respect you more than you. Like it doesn't even matter about your hair. It doesn't matter if it's just your hair or your body or your mind, your time, your anything about you. No one's going to know you the way you know you, and no one's going to take care of you in the gentle, loving, time-consuming way that it takes to take care. Except maybe your parent, if you have a really loving and caring parent. Because I'll spend hours taking care of my son's hair, and because he has longer hair, but he's with his dad now. He has got no one to take care of it. And, if his hair falls out, that's his fault because I told him how to take care of it. And when I was with him, he didn't really want to learn how to take care of his own hair. He just liked having long hair without having to take care of it. And now he's in a place where his mommy's not there to take care of his hair. So whatever happens to his hair is whatever happens to his hair. So, but anyways, yeah. So learn how to take care of your hair, just your hair, and love it and be proud of it. And your hair will grow. And that's the thing. People think Black women think our hair is going to grow with these protective styles, but I beg of you, like if you look at any of the long haired girlies on YouTube, I learned a lot from Seun, Seun. She has really long hair. She does not, well, I mean, she wears protective styles. What was another one? What is it? Native hair or indigenous strands? I said native hair, indigenous strands. You don't see her wearing a lot of wigs, a lot of weaves. She'll do head wraps. Like, you should learn how to do a good head wrap. But you don't need wigs and weaves to grow your hair. And in fact, for probably more likely than not, it's inhibiting your growth. If you've been wearing wigs and weave your whole life and your hair is not down to your ankles, then wigs and weave are not helping your hair grow. It's just like full stop, period. I've stopped wearing wigs and weave. When I stopped wearing wigs and weave, my hair was probably like here. And now my hair is literally like down here, and so it don't help. My hair had never, before I stopped wearing wigs and weaves, my hair never went past my shoulders. And now it's down here. So just food for thought. So anyways, that time and care that we have to put into our hair, it is a built-in mechanism for allowing a Black woman to sit with herself. And the longer anybody can sit with themselves, the closer to God, to the God inside of them, which is consciousness, which is source, which is our all, which is God, which is the closer to God you will be. It is not about, reading the Bible, sitting and reading the Bible all day. Because I was talking to a Christian about that the other day. And, the argument was, how do you know right from wrong if you don't get it from the Bible? But it's like, because we have a internal compass, because we are inherently connected to God, we do not need a book to tell us how to connect to God. Like, you feel God inside of you. You feel what is right and wrong. You feel what makes you feel happy and full of joy and alive. And you feel what makes you feel sad, depressed, anxious, unsure about yourself, and full of doubt. Like, that is where you know right and wrong. Your internal compass is yourself. It is your well-being. If you are happy and feel clear-minded and aligned with whatever it is that you're doing, that's the God in you saying, thumbs up, you're doing great. But if you're doing something and you're tired and you're irritable and you're upset and you're anxious, or you're like, it's just like you got stress, you're like, your stomach always hurting, like you always got headaches, like you just all these aches and pains, you don't know where they're coming from. You're not living an aligned life. You're not living in your truth. You're not making the God inside of you happy. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and it's manifesting in all of these dis-eases. Like, you are feeling dis-ease because you are not happy, because the God inside of you is not happy, because you're not following the moral compass you're supposed to be following. Anyways, that goes for all people. That's not just Black women. That's all people. But yeah, so while Black women are source, we are the first manifestation of source. I wouldn't say that makes white men the devil, but I would say that is why white men struggle so much with being in touch with spirit, because I do think they are genuinely the furthest away from spirit. Like, if spirit, here, let me pull out my whiteboard. And I said this in another episode, and I was explaining time. Time is a consciousness. If you haven't seen that episode, I will also tag that below. It was really fun. I really enjoyed that episode. I was interpreting the messages from a cat, a telepathic cat. And also, that's why they also say Black cats are evil, because Black cats are black, which anything that is dark, I'm telling y'all, anything that is dark is inherently closer to source. And then anything that is very, very light is connected to source, but may or may not have a longer way to travel to get back to source. And so that's why they hate Black cats. But whenever you go to look at a cat mediums, they always talk about how, and this is also why in Egypt they not necessarily worship cats, but like, they understood the insignificance of cats and how close they are to source, because cat is the feline, and anything that has like anything that has roots in feminine, feline, like, those are going to be things that are connected closer to source, because source is a feminine energy. So like, and again, feminine doesn't mean female or one, like, and everyone has masculine and feminine energy inside of them. Everyone has duality. Everyone has both yin and yang, all of these things. And feminine energy is just like, it is the internal, it is the void, it is the within. It has nothing to do, like, everyone was feminine energy before we were masculine energy. Masculine energy is our external bodies. Feminine energy is our spirit body, our high frequency body, our body that you can't see with your two eyes, but you can feel it running through you. It's the energy that you can feel running through you whenever you see ghosts, right? And I talked about this, and I could tag my video about why ghosts exist and how they interact with our world, but they are non-dense entities. And so we have a non-dense entity, the one that is like, I told you, whenever we manifest into the womb, we condense our energies into a solid matter, into flesh. But that energy that was condensed, there's still some of it that is not condensed. Like, we have the condensed version of that energy, but like, think of like, okay, great. great, connection to physics. We know that in physics, everything is entropic, everything is entropy, everything is like moving towards, they call it chaos, but like, which is, yeah, it is chaos, but moving towards, like, whenever you spill water, it goes outward, right? Whenever you release gas, it expands to fill the room. Like, everything is moving in the natural order of like coming apart. And so that dispersing the energy, our naturally our spirit does that, is a very undense, like, dispersed energy. But when we come down to the 3D, we pulse down into a more physical energy. But our spirit is still in this very moment working towards entropy, like working towards becoming that dispersed energy again. But our bodies are a mathematical equation. It is a magnet that keeps that energy in place. It's like we are a cup. We are literally a cup holding our dispersed energy in place. But that's why when we die, our energy disperses back out again, it spills all back into the consciousness, and then we become that spirit energy again fully. But just because we are in the cup right now, that is our physical body, that does not mean our spirit energy cannot come out of that cup and, and spill over, essentially. Or like, water is always evaporating anyways. It's like, so anyways, our spirit energy can come out of our cup and become source and become consciousness again. So I was saying, so Black women, so this is consciousness, right? Let's see. Consciousness. Let's label her as this consciousness. Just as everything that is all timelines, is all dimensions, is all people, is all experiences, this is everything that came from anything that exists at all. This is consciousness. And so consciousness, right, consciousness said, I want to experience myself. And so she broke off into two separate pieces, right? But when consciousness breaks off into a piece, then she says, I want to be an entity, right? Okay, so this is consciousness, right? And then when consciousness wanted to experience itself, it's separated and then became different entities. And so this is where different dimensions come in. So I'm just like, this is like one dimension, because like, if consciousness is the most dispersed energy there is, the energy of existence of all, it is expanding to take up the space of everything that is, and condensed a little bit, and it made a dimension of more dense entities. This is like one we can't see, right, where the ghosts live, let's say. Another dense entity, a different timeline or something, another dense entity, and then this is Earth, right? And so now we have Mother Earth. This is Earth. But then on Earth, there are different life forms. So now if we make this Earth, right, the first person from Earth will be, and also I'm doing it like this so that it looks like sound waves, because consciousness is also waves and vibrations. So stick with me. And so if this is Earth, and here, let's label Earth. That's ugly. So that's Earth. And so now Earth is manifesting life forms, right? And so if the first life form, which is not, humans were not the first life form, but the first life form that is the representation of source, is a Black woman, and then then you got Black men, and then you got a lighter woman, and then a lighter man, and then a lighter woman, and then a lighter man, and then white. That means white men would be all the way down here. And so while again we are all still connected to source, and this is Earth, and then source, white men, I do feel like they are furthest from source, and so they have the hardest time understanding the internal, understanding the within, understanding spirit, understanding connection to all, understanding Christ consciousness. And so that's why it's easier for them to become the demons that they are. Not that they are 100% disconnected from source, but they're like they're holding on by a thread. They're holding on by a thread. So white men are hanging on by a thread when it comes to like being a conscious life form that doesn't just hurt, harm, and kill other life forms of consciousness. And that is because they are disconnected. Once they go full narcissist, which I do feel like most men are narcissistic and or full narcissist, I want to say they're completely disconnected in this 3D realm. Like, not to say that they can't reconnect, but they're going to need a lot. It's a lot. Once you go full narc, and then again, it's not to say that you can't be a Black woman and be disconnected and be a narc. You can totally be a narcissistic Black woman, and you can totally not be a narcissistic white man. But the likelihood, whenever you're here in Bree Speaks, I'm always talking about the average. I'm never talking about the extremes. I'm not talking about the outliers. I'm not talking about the exception to the rule. I'm talking about the rule. And so in general, the rule is going to be that Black women are more connected to source, more spiritual, more magical, more understanding, more in touch with their emotions, more in touch with empathy, more in touch with source, like consciousness. And then in general, white men are going to be less in touch with source, less in touch with empathy, less in touch with like understanding and emotion and all that. They are the representation of the masculine, but not the masculine as in, oh, I'm a male, but like the masculine as in the external expression. Like if source was like if source didn't exist, which is what they want you to think, then they would be the white man, which is why they are trying so hard, like consciously or subconsciously, to get rid of the feminine, because they know they are the rulers of the masculine. White men are rulers of the masculine. They have figured out how to live a life without the feminine, and it looks like death, destruction, abuse, chaos, exploitation, extraction. It looks like a world full of no balance and no harmony. And that's the world that we live in right now. The world ruled by the white man is the world ruled by the masculine, like ruled by just external, ruled by just the 3D, ruled by just dense energy that has no connection to our source, that has no source connection. And so I guess this is me voting for Black women to rule the world. Is that what I'm voting for? I think so, maybe. Women in general, because women, again, have two X's. So we have encoded DNA, we have like a better understanding of life, a more appreciation for life, because anything in the world, right? If you take 2 days to create a poem or something like that, you're going to like that poem and care about it. But if you take 10 years to write a book, you are going to have a massive, stronger appreciation and attachment to that book, because you put more time, more energy, and more of your own personal magic to manifest that book. But so men in general, they just don't have to put in as much time and energy to manifest life as women do. We've got to do at least 9 months, right, of hard work. And then after that, we've got another, year at least to let them suckle on our bosom. And really, it's supposed to be 7 years. If you're going back to nature, it's supposed to be they suckle for a very long time. But the way that this world has been created, we're not allowed to even care for our children for even 6 weeks out of the womb, which makes me want to cry. Which is why I'll never have any more children. One and done for life. Because this evil masculine world doesn't care about children or women. So I was saying, women should run the world, because we have a greater appreciation for life inherently, just because we have to put so much of our time, energy, and resources into cultivating, manifesting, and creating life. We are just going to appreciate it more and think about it more, versus men, they put their time, energy, and like magic energy into cultivating external wealth, like money in the physical, money in the 3D, cultivating status in the 3D, cultivating social, hierarchies in the 3D. It has nothing to do with cultivating life. And so to make the person who cares more about things and doing things and getting things in charge, instead of the person who cares more about life and the people who will be using the things and the things, the people who will need the things, like women are just going to be better leaders in general overall for the well-being of humanity. Obviously, I feel like it's obvious, but men just don't get that. But then Black women specifically, that's all I'm saying. It makes sense to me. Does it make sense to you? Not your pride, not your ego, not your I'm not Black woman, so I feel like this is offensive to me. Not talking about none of that. And again, if you're a woman, you're over here. The only person who I feel like should be really upset right now is a white man. If I'm talking to, and they're like, no, white men should be in charge, and it's just like, should they? Have you guys have been in charge for 400 years, and what has that gotten us? All right, have a seat. So that's it. I think that's all. I do feel like Black women are God / the closest manifestation of God that we have here on earth. And we need to respect us more, because we are that bitch. All right. Thank you for coming to Bree Speaks podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode and you feel like it was valuable to you in any way, shape, or form, you can support by going to breespeaks.co and buying a 7 Narcissistic Social Hierarchies mug. Or you could just, if you don't like to drink coffee or whatever, you could donate to my Cash App at Bree Speaks 2 is my Cash App, and I take all donations there as well. And if you want to hang out with me more and further and see what's going on in my life, like I'm going to Peru in like 7 days on my spiritual ayahuasca journey trip, where I do feel like I'm going to come back with superpowers. I talk about that. I'm going to be talking about that more on my members only. And so I have 2 tiers: woke AF. Woke is early access to my videos, pictures, voting, things like that. And then Woke AF is my vlog tier, where you get access to what's going on in my personal life, which I don't share lightly. So yeah, if you want to hear what's going on, you want to know more about Peru, I'll talk about Peru a little bit, probably. I'm going to talk about it. But if you want to be with me during the build up, like I just finished talking about, before we go to Peru for this ayahuasca journey, you have to be cleansed. Like today is literally the last day I can drink caffeine. Because they want you to be caffeine free for a week, and like they want you to be like, if you smoke the lettuce, you got to be lettuce free. If you like, just like any like I have ADHD, so I'll take a stimulant medication for that. They said I can't even take that, and so y'all, this is me. No meds, no lettuce, no alcohol, nada. I am just, well, I have caffeine, but my next few episodes after this, I'll probably be like caffeine, even caffeine less. And so, and I told everyone the last time I went with no meds, no lettuce, no nothing. I divorced my husband, and so I was like, yeah, I'm pretty afraid to have a life with nothing, because I'm just like, that's when it is when I'm at my clearest. It's when I'm at my most understanding of who I am and what I want, and it's when I just, and that's, I don't care how other people feel about my decisions, but I do feel like it's like, I want to say I don't slow down to think. I don't know. It's like the ADHD is it's rapid with no meds. So I do feel like sometimes I can be, I don't want to say impulsive, because I feel like I think through everything I do. I just think through it so fast that I feel like other people perceive me as impulsive. But I got ADHD. It's just like this brain, and I'm a Gemini Mercury for anyone who cares about that. So. And if you don't, if you do care, if you don't care, you don't know. Gemini are like the rulers of intellect, and then Mercury is the planet ruled by Gemini, so it's like the planet of intellect. And so my intellect is in intellect, and so this brain is quick, it's speedy, it's rapid, and and it has pattern recognition. Like I'm a system thinker. Like it takes me 2 seconds to know the outcome of something once I know what's happening. And so while others around me will feel like, Bree, you're making a rash decision. Like my marriage, they felt like, oh, you don't, you've only been married a year. Like I don't need more time to figure out what I want, who I am, and see where this is going. So I just feel like when I'm on my meds, I adhere to other people's opinions a little bit more, but when I'm off my meds, I just don't care. I just don't care nearly as much, because I'm more sure-footed. I'm more sure-footed without my meds, without when I'm like mentally butt naked. I can't be bothered to take in other people's opinions about my actions, about my life. If that makes sense. Like you can't, like, I'll take in your opinion if I'm asking for it, or if you have experience in something that I don't have experience in and I want your perspective. But if I come to a conclusion about myself and my life, and it's only, I say only going to affect me and myself, but like it's ultimately going to affect mostly like me and myself, I just don't care about what other people think. And so I'm going to make those decisions on my own behalf. And whether you like it or not, that's not my problem, sir or madam, not my problem. And I really want everyone to be that way. I want everyone to make decisions for themselves on their behalf and learn their own lessons. Like, yeah, sometimes I'm gonna get it wrong. Sometimes you're gonna get it wrong. But like there's no such thing as a mistake in my personal opinion. There's only learning experiences and choices. So if you do something and you don't like the outcome, you learn something new. And if you do something and you know the outcome and you do it again, then you're making a choice to do a bad decision more than once. That's not a choice. It's not I mean, it's not a learning experience. You already know what's going to happen. You keep doing the same thing over and over again. That's called insanity. But if you're actually expecting a different outcome, that's called insanity. But yeah, but you're also making you're making an informed choice at that point. And so, yeah, I don't care if I make bad decisions. If that bad decision is the decision I think that I need to make for myself at that time, and I think it's what's best for me, I'm going to make it. And yeah, you can't stop me, internet or other people with their opinions. So, if you enjoyed and you want to encourage other people to be their truest and most authentic selves despite what the world around them may tell them to be, yeah, please do visit breespeaks.co or donate to my Cash App. And I will talk to you next time. The God in me loves the God in you, especially if the God in you is a Black woman. And everyone else too, but got a little special affinity for my Black girls, my Black women. And so that is that. I hope you enjoyed, and always remember, y'all, stay woke. Bye-bye.